So, if you guys haven't heard, UMG has released their official polls for the event this week in UMG Orlando that's going to be taking place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, keep in mind, these polls are official, and I'm just going to run by the polls really quick and give you guys my prediction for these polls. So, poll 1, you got Optic Gaming, Stunner Gaming, Aware Gaming, and Revenge Gaming. Poll B, FaZe, which is us, Team Caliber, Strictly Business, and ISO. Poll C, Denial Esports, Team Envy, Rise Nation, Synergy, and Poll D, Team Justice, Prophecy, Optic Nation, and Elevate. So, I'm just going to run down these pools, break it down for you guys, and let you guys know my predictions for this. Breaking it down with Pool A, we have Optic Gaming, Stunner, Aware, and Revenge. The last time I did a video about this, I highlighted Optic Gaming, and you guys gave me a lot of criticism for it. To be honest, I was just trying to be funny. Maybe I was trying too hard. Maybe I made a few of you guys cringe, but in the end of the day, I thought it was a pretty funny video, and I guess coming from me, I shouldn't have been the person saying what I did say, so I'm going to take that into consideration moving forward with these prediction videos. And now I'm going to take it to a serious note. Optic Gaming is going to sweep this pool with no problems at all. Stunner obviously gives them trouble online. They got Hugh the Don. He's our sub. Dude's a freaking beast. He's going to win some tournaments one day, but it's not his time right now. That team isn't strong enough to beat Optic. Aware is another team who did really good at Columbus, and they started off the league hot, but they don't have the experience on their team. They don't have the players necessary to win an event yet. And I think if those players continue to go on the path they're going on, they will have success, but not right now at this current time in the game. And Revenge, to be honest, I really don't know who's on that team, but I'm just going to say Optic's going to flat out sweep this pool regardless of who that open #1 team is. They're going to have no problems going through that pool. Pool B is us, TK, Strictly Business, and ISO. I don't really want to talk about my pool and my predictions for my team. I don't like to do that, but I think we have a very hard pool. Our pool isn't going to be easy. If we do win the pool, if we do well, we're really going to have to earn every single one of the wins in this pool. ISO is a very underrated team. They beat us in one of the online tournaments. Strictly Business is another good team. It's Dito, Nezlo, Fizzerp, John, all veteran players, all been there, done that before. Some of them have won, and they've been around forever. You know, they've been around since, I think, COD 4, Black Ops 1. So they're an awesome team. They're going to be a tough match. TK, you can't really, count them out. They're always better on LAN compared to online. They got Looney, who's a really smart, really good player. He's never really won anything. He's never really accomplished anything, but he is a stud. I expect him to do well, as he always does online and on LAN, and I expect Sharp to step it up on LAN as well. But I'm not going to predict my prediction for this pool. I think all these teams are good, and it's going to be a really interesting tournament, and we're going to see how it unfolds for us. Pool C is Denial, Envy, Rise, Synergy, and the Open team. So Synergy isn't a team I don't really necessarily follow. I don't know much about them, but I do know that I think they caused an upset in one of the 5Ks or in a couple of the 5Ks. They've beaten a couple of the good teams. Rise Nation is Pac-Man, Wheats, Diabolic, and Chino. And I think Chino's an absolute beast. I think that dude is a monster. But I don't think Rise is going to do too well. They got Denial and Envy in their pool. I think Denial is one of the best teams right now. I think Envy underperformed at Columbus, and they're going to step it up at this event. They all have veteran players. You got Clayster, Merc, Nameless, and JCap. I don't expect them to do as poorly as they did at the last event. And by saying poorly, I don't want to say that they did bad, but they did get 3-0'd by Optic on Championship Sunday, and they did lose convincingly to TK. I watched it myself. And I just don't think they had a good tournament, and I expect them to do a lot better at UMG Orlando. And then you have Denial, who I think is going to win this pool. That's obviously Zuma, Replays, Attach, and Replay, Zuma, Attach, and Saints. Renato. I don't know how I can forget Renato, but that team is stacked. They lost last map S&D to Envy at UMG Orlando, MLG Columbus, and they also lost last map S&D to us at the tournament in the losers bracket, and we ended up moving on and knocking them out, so they placed 5th and 6th as well as Team Envy. But Denial is a team who, for whatever reason, can't close out series whenever it comes to a clutch moment, whenever it comes to like a 5-5, Game 5 S&D. They don't seem to prevail. It just happens every single time. I watch it online in the 2Ks and the 5Ks. I watched it on LAN. I feel like they play good. I don't feel like they're choking. I feel like they're making the right plays. They're just not getting rewarded. I know when we play them on LAN, the match wasn't streamed, but it did go down to a 5-5. And it came down to Replay shooting me a split second before I planted the bomb. It was all timing. And if Replay shot me a second earlier, there was a really good chance they would be the team that beat us. So it's not necessarily one of the players isn't playing well, or it's not like the team isn't clutching. I just feel that they haven't gotten good timing. Even when they played Envy and Envy beat them 5-5, I felt like that match would have went either way. I don't think any players did anything wrong necessarily. I just feel like Denial got really unlucky, and I think they're a really good team. I expect him to do good at this tournament. I can see him going all the way to the finals, but I'm definitely going to say Denial's going to win the pool. Envy's going to get second. And I really don't know. It's a toss-up between Rise Nation and Synergy. It all comes down to, honestly, if Chino could just put on his backpack and just play at a whole nother level. If he could do well for that team, they might get the second spot coming out. But I really do expect Denial to be the 1 seed and to Envy to be the 2 seed in that pool. Moving on to Pool D, you have Team Justice, Prophecy, Optic Nation, and Team Elevate. This is another stacked pool. All these pools are really good. But Pool D has a lot of veteran players. You have Justice, who's one of the better teams in the league right now. It's Enable, Slacked, Mochilla, and Classic. Those players seem to mesh really well together. All those players have had their individual moments throughout Call of Duty. And I think some of them, like Classic, he went through a period of lows and ghosts where he wasn't considered that well of a player. He didn't do too good on FaZe Red, but then after he went to his own team of Most Wanted and moving into this game, he's shown periods where he's been a really talented player. Slacked has been stepping up for the team, and especially Mochilla and Abel. Those dudes have been grinding this game nonstop. Those players improved a lot since Call of Duty Ghosts, and this team as a whole is definitely a really good team. They always cause problems for every team they play. Prophecy. Now, this team did really good at Columbus. They started the league extremely good, and they also did good in the 2Ks and the 5Ks, but recently they've been falling off. And, Parasite, Ricky, Legal, and Fears, those are all really good players too, but I think the problem with Prophecy is that once they start to lose, they tend to lose confidence in themselves, and you can't have that happen, especially on a LAN at a tournament. It doesn't matter who's sitting next to you, who your players are. You could have the greatest player in the world. I have Ake sitting next to me, for crying out loud, and he makes me feel like a whole new person when I'm playing on LAN, but even if I had the worst player in the world sitting next to me, it's not going to change how much effort I'm going to put into the game, and I think as a team, that team's morale just completely goes downhill whenever something bad happens. I think they're a talented team. They got third at the Open, and they started the league good, so they know that they have potential. They know that they can perform. It all comes down to their mentality, and if they do have a good mentality throughout the weekend, I expect them to do well. I don't think they're going to perform too well at this tournament. I expect them to place in the top 8, but I don't think they're going to do as well as they did at Columbus, just for the fact that as time went on with that team, and as from what I noticed, at least in my opinion, that team just seems to clash heads way too easily now, and every time something goes wrong, they just like to play the blame game, and they don't seem to recover from it. Every team goes through slumps, every team has problems, every team has arguments, but it seems that that team, once one thing does go wrong, they do not recover, and they just get worse and worse as the series progresses. So I expect Prophecy to not get top 2 in this pool. I think Justice will. I don't think Prophecy will. Optic Nation is the worst team in the league right now. They're 3-13. They're struggling. They can't get anything rolling, and I don't understand why. Those players are beasts. You got Teep, Proof, Karma, and Swanee. Swanee was the best player on Vitality when we played him at the Open. He was the best player on his team when I played him in Ghost at Gfinity. He's always been known as one of the best players in the EU scene, and I'm watching him play, and he's doing really well online with the BAL. Every time I see him, he's getting 2 pieces. He's hitting all his shots. And then you got those other 3 players who are absolute monsters. I don't understand how the team's 3-13. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. TP is the leader of the team. He's the player who's trying to change things up. He's trying to be more motivational for his team. He's trying to step up as that captain. He's doing everything he can. And for whatever reason, they just can't get it going. I can't see that team underperforming again. I can't see them continuing on the road they're going on. I think something's going to change. And I think at this event, they're going to prove it. I think Optic Nation will get second. Justice will get first. Moving on to Elevate. This is Study, Spacely, Killa, and Mir, I believe. Unless they made a roster change. I'm pretty sure that's their team. And they're another team that reminds me of Prophecy and also of Optic Nation. Those 3 teams at the bottom, they all have problems when it comes to losing. I feel that those 3 teams have lost a lot on this game, and those 3 teams have had really good players in the past and really good players in this game, but for whatever reason, when those players are playing together, it just doesn't click. And it's all going to come down to, as those 3 teams, which one of them is going to click when it comes to LAN, and I'm just going to take a random guess and say Optic Nation. I just don't see a team with TP, Karma, Proof, and Swanee underperforming at another tournament. I just don't see it happening 2 tournaments in a row. I think they got 6 of the last one, which isn't too bad, but that's a team that should be fighting for a championship. That's a team that should be placing in the top 4, giving the roster on paper. I know sometimes it doesn't really work out that way, but moving on, Elevate, that team just has no morale at all. They don't have a leader. They don't have a slayer. They don't have that intangible that you need. All 4 of those players remind me of role players. I think Spacely is somebody who does my role. Study is sort of like I don't know how to explain this. Study is kind of like, he's not a role player, but he's also not like a main slayer. He's in between. And then you got Killa and Mir, who I think are just role players. I think those players need to be playing with players like, if you put them on complexity back in the day, I feel like they would replace a TP, or on my team they would replace me, or like an apathy. I think having 4 of those players on one team just doesn't work, and I think that they need to have it change. But who knows what's gonna happen? It's LAN. There's always an upset. There's always a team that comes out and proves people wrong, and it could be any 4 of those teams. Pool D could be the worst pool, or it could be the best pool, depending on who wants to show up at that tournament. But I think Justice is definitely the favorite in that pool. They've shown to be extremely consistent throughout this entire game, and they're also going to be the favorites. So I think Justice will win the pool, and I'm just going to throw a toss-up and say Optic Nation is going to get second. So just to give a little bit of a recap, I'm going to say Pool A is going to be Optic Gaming and either Stunner or Aware. I'll say Aware just because last event they showed me some really good things, and even though Stunner does have Huke, I just think Aware would beat them in a head-to-head. So Optic and Aware would move out of Pool A. In our pool, I'm not going to predict it. Pool C is going to be Denial and Envy, in my opinion. And Pool D, I think, is going to be Justice and Optic Nation. Now, after that, anything could happen. At the last event, Denial beat us in pool play. They ended up playing Envy in round 1. They lost. And we ended up playing SB, and we beat them. Then we moved on, and we played Prof. And then Denial played us in the losers bracket. So there's so many different matchups that could happen from that point moving forward. But I do expect Denial to have a really good event. I expect Optic to be either in the finals or in the top 4. And I think Justice could do really good too. But I definitely think the 2 favorite teams, and again, I'm not going to count my team in this at all. I don't like putting my teams in predictions, and it's a little bit weird for me and strange for me considering that we did win the last event. And all these teams that we did beat, it did come down to the wire. But it's weird considering that we did win and we are the 2nd seed, and for me to not, give a prediction. But I don't want to put my team in there. I don't want to, put a prediction with my team at all. I don't want to put a label on us. I just want to go out and perform to the best of my ability. I want my team to do the same. So if I would predict any teams to go into the finals without my team being there, I would say Optic Gaming and Denial, and I think Denial would beat them just because Denial matches up really well. They're hungry. I think Optic's hungry too. They definitely want to prove people wrong. They want to prove people that they're better on LAN than they are online, which I don't agree with. I think they're way better online. I don't want to take away from their LAN capabilities. They're definitely a good LAN team, but online it's literally impossible to beat those dudes on a consistent basis. But on LAN, they're more feasible, but that still doesn't mean that they're not a great team. They did get second, and they gave us a really good run for our money at the last tournament. And that's all I'm going to say for today, guys. I think if our team wasn't there, Denial would beat Optic in the finals. That's just my prediction. It's only an opinion. You guys don't have to agree with it. You can disagree with it, but don't hit the dislike button. Don't start hating on the video just because I'm giving you my honest opinion. I hope you guys can respect and appreciate that because I do enjoy doing this. I do enjoy predictions, and it's fun for me. I do enjoy these matches. I do enjoy competing. I like, watching all the teams play. I do this as my job, and I like to pay attention of my colleagues and the other teams around the league. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for Orlando. Hopefully we can get that 2P for you guys. As long as we stay consistent with our mindset, as long as we keep our, composure and maintain a level of confidence, I think the sky's the limit with our team. I think we have a great team, great players, great attitudes, great mindsets. And I think once it comes to LAN and it's a LAN tournament setting, that's when we do prevail as a team. Just off of how much we clutched at the last event, I can't take that away from these guys. Every single time I went down to the wire, we always came out on top. So that has to mean something. That has to mean more than just luck. So hopefully we can come out and we can do the best we can and we can win another tournament for the Red Militia. So I just gave you guys a really long, descriptive, detailed Columbus prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want me to change anything. I could do cutscenes. I can put music in it. I could do a lot of different things. Let me know what you guys want to see moving forward for more tournaments and more predictions. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. As always, this is your boy Doug Sensor Martin, and I'm out, guys. Peace.